What is up, cool cats of the interwebs? It is your girl Haley back at it again with another episode of the pre-review crew. Your favorite trio, like always, back with the original crew. If you're new here, let me reintroduce ourselves. If you're not, well, you already know what it is. Skip a little bit forward. But if you are new, I am Haley, and I am joined by my best friends forever, Mike.
What's up?
And Brennan.
Hello.
So, if you missed last month's episode, that was our E3 episode. Definitely go back and check on that. But this month we are going to do it a little bit differently since we didn't really get to review any games that were, preview any games that were coming out in July since we did E3 games. So we are going to start off with the preview for August, and then we have a special section for the review that'll be happening in just a bit. But let's kick it off with August's preview portion. We are going to start off with Starmancer. It is an indie construction / management game. It's developed by Omnix Games and published by Chucklefish. You've definitely heard about them before. It's coming to PC and it's going to be released on August 5th, which is pretty goddamn soon. What's your thoughts on this?
It looks like Stardew Valley in space, but with a terrible alien issue.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what I was thinking of when I was looking at this, and like when I selected this pick. It very much reminded me of like a RimWorld in space. That kind of like looks and feels like Stardew Valley. But I don't know. I feel like a couple months ago I went on this big RimWorld rush where I really liked playing construction and management style games like that. And Starmancer has been on my wish list on Steam for a while, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I don't exactly like a lot of the gameplay that I've seen is very trailer based. So like trailer playing right now is, as you can see, there's like, I don't know, but it's kind of expansive in what you can do. Like, you get raided by pirates and aliens as you expand your little star base, create little habitats for your little sim-like people, I guess, your colonists. It's just very reminiscent of RimWorld, and that really caught my eye.
I think it's pretty cool. I'm like sitting here like debating like, is this something I would play? Because it definitely reminds me of Stardew in space, but at the same exact time, it's like you're not just one person like customizing a farm. You're taking care of a whole bunch of different people and trying to make sure that, you know, you got to keep them happy and keep the pirates off your ship and make sure your people don't starve. And I'm just like, maybe I want them to starve. Did you ever think about that? Like, why not?
Yeah, looking at the trailers, I was like, I love how first it starts calm, you know, it's your people doing their thing, and it slowly devolves into like all these terrible aliens just ripping everything apart. And I kind of like that. Just that sense of intensity. I got bored with Stardew Valley very quickly. So I got a feeling like something like this because of the intensity of being invaded by aliens. And like Haley said, you know, keeping your people alive just helps how do I say it? Like keep more invested, more alert, more you know, wanting to be in it a lot more.
Yeah, totally. That investment that Mike was talking about goes hand in hand with like the stories that come out of these kinds of games. Like, you're not necessarily playing the game for a main story or whatever, but you're crafting the stories yourself. You know, like, I don't know, the time that your best colonist who has like the highest farming skill or hydroponics, however they're gonna, do it in this. He got attacked and shot by a raider in the last raid, and now his heart's giving out, and he's on the bed, and you've got your best doctor on him, and you're wondering if he's gonna make it out. Like that kind of scenario, I feel like is what this game is going for. and like those kinds of stories. Hence the investment. You know, you can get invested in your colonists. At least that's what ideally you're doing. And so you're crafting these stories for them, and I think that's really cool. Like, I don't know, I'm just a big sucker for RimWorld, and like this just looks like RimWorld in space, to be very, very, very blunt. And I'm very excited to play this.
I never played RimWorld, so I really don't know.
It's fun. It's I mean, okay, so for the people that don't know anything about RimWorld, it's very similar to this, and the idea that you start with 3 colonists, or however many that you want, really, but usually it's 3, and you get more from them, like more as you play. And each one has like randomly selected stats, like a backstory that they have that influences their stats. Like some person could be a farmer, you know, and then there's other traits like ugly. So like you can have an ugly farmer who like doesn't really get along with people, is not really charismatic, but is really good at farming. And then someone else who's really good at shooting and she's really good at hunting and like crafting something. I don't know. And then so from there, drama can ensue within the characters, but essentially you're building bases for them to live in and making sure that their resources and their stockpiles are up to date and like not filled up all the time, keeping them alive essentially. And then from there, random raids will happen, and everything that I'm saying about RimWorld probably will apply to Starmancer just because of the influence. So yeah, that's a little rundown on Starmancer slash RimWorld's vertical slice, I would say, in a nutshell.
Honestly, this game looks cool. Will I play it? I honestly have no clue because I don't know if it's going to keep my attention long enough for me to actually get invested into it. Like, I like Stardew Valley because it was just me managing my farm. This, I actually have to take care of like other people and like make sure everything's like growing and watch out for the invaders and like do everything and keep expanding and expanding and expanding because we just want to take over space because apparently that's all we're good for is destroying things. So I don't know. I think it also depends on like how much this game is because like I'm not gonna pay like a full like $60 for this game. You're fucking joking. But like maybe I'd say maybe like 20.
Yeah, that's the number I have in my head. I have around anywhere from 15 to about 30 is probably what I would pay, but I guess it also depends on the amount of content. I know, very quick disclaimer, that the August 5th release isn't the 1.0 release, it's the early access release. So, again, it is an early access game. I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning.
So this game was on Kickstarter. It did reach its Kickstarter goal. Its goal was $40,000. It got $139,685 by 4,650 backers, and it says the pledge of $15 is for the base game. So it's right where we were thinking and right around what we want to pay for it. So I feel like that's a pretty fair price for a game like this.
Ah,
So I would agree.
I will say at that price, this is a game I'll keep my eye on to see how it does, and if it does well, maybe I'll jump on the bandwagon and try it out.
I don't
Yeah, it
think
should be cool.
I don't
I
think it,
haven't, I haven't, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I haven't been like, there's not many games coming out recently, so I feel like the indie sphere is really what we're having to look for nowadays. And like, I don't know, I've been excited for this one for a while.
I think this is a game that I would definitely pick up on like the winter sale where I'm like, "Oh my god, there's nothing I want to play." But this game is on sale for like 2 cents off its actual asking price. That's a steal. I mean, let's be real. Steam sales are, unless they're like AAA titles, you're not sometimes getting a bargain.
What are you talking about? It's 2 cents. That's a fucking bargain all the way.
Rub those two pennies together and they're gonna make you rich, Mike.
0.1% off. How can you
Exactly.
not?
That's the biggest bargain I'll ever get in my life.
Exactly.
Money goes such a long way. Um, Anyway, talking about how money goes such a long way, we are going to kick it over to, instead of 2 pennies, we're going to give you 12 minutes for those 2 cents. This is a indie adventure game, kicking it back over to the indie bin. It is developed and published by Luis Antonio and Anna Pure I can't speak. Help.
Annapurna.
There we go. Thank you. Interactive. I don't know why that was so hard. Oh, this is almost an Xbox exclusive. It's coming out on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Sorry, PlayStation and Switch. You don't get this game at the moment, and it is coming out on August 19th. Now, I want to start this off with, there are some big names tied to this game. Big names.
Yes.
Very big names. So if you go on the 12minutesgame.com site, it says it's an interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. This is the top-down game where you overlook a living room / kitchen area. And right across the center of the screen, it says James McAvoy. He was in M. Night Shyamalan's Split, I think it was called. Was it Split?
I think so. I haven't seen those movies, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't either, so I really can't
that
tell
was
you.
such a good movie. I really like that movie. But he's been in a couple movies. He was in, I'll come back to it later. But Daisy Ridley, which I feel like I've seen her in something, but I can't.
Daisy Ridley?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
There we go. I've never seen Star Wars. That's why I just didn't know it. And
Okay,
Willem
we can be
Dafoe.
friends
If you
anymore.
don't know who Willem Dafoe is, stop listening to this podcast.
Yeah, the
No,
Green
just
Goblin.
Get a life.
He's a great actor. But I am
Willem
super.
fucking Dafoe.
Do you have something? I can't tell if that was a bad thing or a good
No, it's a
thing.
good
The way you
thing.
said that. Okay.
Oh man, Willem Dafoe's awesome.
Just making
Yeah, he's
sure.
amazing.
But there's honestly, I haven't seen a lot about this game, and I forgot about it. Hard key forgot, because I was like, oh, it's just a top-down game. There's nothing actually interesting in it, and now they've actually made it interesting. This is a little huge. They went from it just being about a guy stuck in a time loop to adding great actors and actresses to the voice acting cast, and now it's just going to be that much better. I mean, we still don't know a lot about it because I don't really think there's any gameplay of it, and if there is, it's probably very minimal. But still, this is something I'm super excited for.
Yeah, I remember when they first revealed this. Because whenever I think of these games, I always think of Groundhog Day. I always will. But I just love for one, the top-down perspective. You're in the same room over and over again, but everything changes every time. That I just thought that was very interesting, because it's you kind of don't know what to expect. If you watch the trailer, it's it shows a different outcome every time he has to redo the loop, and they're all different, very significant outcomes.
I'm reading this one. I'm reading this one article that says, you only have 12. The game's called 12 minutes. So each revive you only have 12 in-game minutes to do your run. At least that's what I'm understanding from this. But it'll still take anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to figure out everything that's going on. And even this journalist was saying that he didn't understand until the third go around that, if you slip something in the mug, you can knock out a certain person. And the fun of it was just coming from what can I combine, tearing up the house, and just seeing how you can do this run differently from your last. And I think that's such a cool concept. Yeah, Mike said we've seen Groundhog's Day, but playing through that, I feel is really cool. And then even this journalist mentioned another game called Minute, where you only have one in-game minute to do your thing, and then you revive. But I think it's just especially in this new indie interactive storytelling trend that we've gone through, I think that this would be a clever experience, and hopefully the story's good too. And it's got Willem Dafoe in it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I need.
I also think it's cool because it's they don't. You're gonna have to slowly learn why you care about these characters, because all it says in the description is you take on the role of the husband, not even giving this character a name, on what should be a romantic evening with your wife. So it's like I'm very curious about the story and sort of why I should care about this husband character and why I should care about this wife character and like how this is like why this is all happening and how it's all happening, and I'm just super excited. Plus it's like the top down view is super cool
Mhm.
because you get to see the whole room at one time. So at every second, you can see like what you can interact with, what's there. Like I don't know. I think that aspect's just really cool because we don't really have a lot of interactive, narrative-driven games like this in that perspective.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, nothing is coming to mind.
So I
Yeah, the
think
only game
that's.
I could think of that has that kind of perspective is Hotline Miami.
I feel like my brain is blanking on what that is, but I feel like I definitely should know what that is.
You would know it if you saw it.
Of course.
Yeah, that's one of those kinds of
I
games.
feel like it's giving me vaporwave vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to know, like, if they go out of the house. Like, I saw in one trailer, like, they were in a bedroom. So, is this loop just. I'm assuming that they probably never leave this apartment in the loop.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's just completely all within the same apartment.
I need more of the story. Like, I just need to know. I just already need to know. Like, what the fuck is this game? What the hell is this game? Why are they being so secretive of it? Like, there's this gameplay portion that I'm watching right now, and it's cool. It's like showing you what you can do, what you can interact with, but it's like, I need to know what the hell is going on with this game. I'm buying it. That's it. I'm buying it. Hands down. Putting it on my Steam wish list right now.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool. I don't know if it's necessarily something that I would buy. Um, but I think like commercially, I think that and hope that it does pretty well because I don't know, it looks like a unique experience.
It's not something, probably not something I'd buy, but it's definitely something I'd watch.
Yeah.
They spent all their money on voice acting, so we have to help them out a little bit. That's a joke. I don't know what their budget for this game was because the game came before they added all the actors into it. So I'm assuming they got a little bit more money somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely spent a lot on voice acting, that's for sure.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not going to be able to like live until I look up this. Sorry, I just have to see what that title of that M. Night Shyamalan movie was because I'm literally not going to live it down. Okay. Yeah, okay. It was called Split, yes. But
One
James,
with McAvoy or something like that.
yeah. And then he's in my favorite movie with Angelina Jolie, which is called Wanted. Everyone says that was like a really bad movie, at least,
Oh no,
I think.
I enjoyed that movie. You got to curve
Oh,
the bullet.
okay. It had favorable reviews when it came in 2008. That's an A++ movie right there. That movie deserves
Oh
a
yeah.
sequel.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
the one.
Curved Bullets movie. Yeah.
I
Yeah, they
love
got to
that
curve the bullet.
scene.
Yeah.
He gets beat up.
Oh, he gets his ass kicked in that movie.
Angelina Jolie's a badass in that movie, though. Why it never got a sequel, I don't know. Definitely needed one. But anyway, we'll talk about sequels later. Let's kick it over to a
A
pretty
sequel.
a pretty damn great game. A pretty damn great game, if I have to say so myself. Somebody in this group actually has taste. And I'm not talking about Brennan or Mike. JK.
Oh wow.
We're talking about Mike's pick for the month, which is No More Heroes 3. It's an indie action adventure. It's developed by Grasshopper Manufacture and published by Marvelous. It's coming out for the Switch on August 27th. All these games are spaced apart pretty well, so if you're like, I'm gonna get one game with every paycheck I get for the month of August, here are the 3 games that you should probably buy.
Yeah, I mislabeled that. It's a AAA game, it's not an indie title.
Oh, okay. Brennan lied to us, everyone. Scratch that. It's a triple A title. I'm very sad now. Thought we had this running thing of indie games going on.
Sorry.
Well, it's Mike's pick, so I'm gonna blame him.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, like anybody who's played No More Heroes knows just how fun these games are. Like they're goofy, they got great action. I love titles that just don't take themselves seriously, and No More Heroes is a franchise that definitely does that.
So like, what? I mean, I know of No More Heroes, but for the folks at home that don't, and especially because I
Like
guess
me.
also for maybe and Haley, I guess, because I only know No More Heroes is like the lightsaber video game where it's like
Yeah,
a
the
game
beam katana.
about video games, and the beam katana. Yeah, that's about all I know.
Yeah,
Travis touchdown.
I was supposed to say he
That's
plays
it.
Travis Touchdown. You're trying to become like the number one hero in the world, um, but shit's just always going sideways. And I'm trying to think of how to describe these games. They're like just so out there.
How do you charge the beam katana again?
You jerk it off.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah. Do you think that's still gonna be a thing in this one? Was that still a thing in the second one?
Yeah, it was. I think it's still a thing in this one.
All right, cool, because that's hilarious. I always thought that was really funny, especially with the Wiimote back in the day.
Oh
That
yeah, you
was
had a
funny. Yeah. This should be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cult franchises that I feel like, you know, people either absolutely love it or they feel nothing towards it. Um, I've always thought of it like, I don't know, No More Heroes falls in like the Bayonetta trap for me, where it's just like it's action adventure cult hit.
yeah.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Is that
I would
fair?
agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
They don't exactly, they definitely don't play the same, but I feel like in terms of like that, also that gritty kind of sarcastic story. Although I've never played Bayonetta, so again, I'm just generalizing my
Oh, I love
butt
Bayonetta.
off.
Um,
Yeah, I know, but this is like another cult hit, I guess.
yeah, if you went on the street and asked people what No More Heroes was, not many of them are gonna be able to tell you. Um, but like I said, it's just the franchise is fun. It's goofy. It's fun. And so I've had my eye on this one for a while, just because Travis Touchdown makes me laugh. The action is great. Um, and it's got goofy stuff. This one you can fly into space in a mech. You can mow people's lawns. You go get ramen, shit like that. Just wild all over the place kind of action.
At least on
As
the Wikipedia page, real quick, it says that there was an 11-year hiatus since between this and the last numbered entry in the series.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
been a couple spin-offs, I think.
I was just about to say the last actual numbered Normal Heroes was for the Wii, so that was a long time ago. But they did have like I played it with my brother and some friends. They had a two-player like little spin-off, top-down spin-off um that I forgot what it was called. No More Heroes something. Um but this is a game I feel that's been a long time coming. Nintendo got it for the Switch, and I just feel even if you've never heard of No More Heroes, this is one I think people should still look at and see if it kind of just fits their kind of humor and their kind of taste for action.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
go ahead, Brennan.
definitely sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in No Man Heroes. I've always No More Heroes. I've always been interested in No More Heroes, but I've never like given it a shot. But this time around, I may do that.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. I'm sort of torn. Like I think this is one I'm going to definitely watch and then maybe pick up later if it interests me. It sounds really cool. Mike makes it sound cool. I like that it doesn't take itself too seriously. But I'm still like a little hesitant because I'm just like, is it does it take itself serious, like not so serious in a okay, I like these jokes, this is going to keep my attention, or is it so over the top and heavily relying on jokes that I'm just like, okay, well, now I'm fucking bored because they just reuse the same joke over and over again.
No, I mean it's a goofy game, but I mean it does have its moments where it just kind of you have to start taking things um with like the villains and stuff, you got to take things a little more seriously. It's just I'm trying to think of a good comparison. You know, like some comedies, where the whole thing's funny, but at the same time there is like, an overarching story with like, serious consequences and serious um I can't talk today.
Words
But
are very hard.
so it's one of those things like yeah, it's gonna make you laugh, but at the same time you are gonna have to really sit up and pay attention to some things.
So it does look. Hold on. Let me confirm. Sorry, I'm just trying to confirm this. For anybody who wants to play No More Heroes, the original, you can get it on the Nintendo Switch for $20. Those graphics look very, very, very old.
These games are pretty old.
It's an HD remaster version. The last photo that they have in the screenshot section is him on a toilet, and it says "save yes or no." I don't know what to think about that.
Laugh.
I am. I'm just like, oh my god. From what Mike has said, this is exactly what I expect. But, Jesus Lord, I wish every time I sat on a toilet that was the save.
You wish you had that option.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to save? And I'm just like, yeah, I guess I've had a good day. Or whenever feeling rebellious, I'm like, no, I don't want to save. Let's see if something takes me out so I can start over. Just imagine if life was actually like that.
Every time you sat on the toilet, you just get ready to, restart your day.
I feel like Brendan probably wants to murder us.
No, of course not.
That's what a murderer would say.
I'm done. So we're now going to kick it off to what would be our review section. But since we don't have anything to review since last month was E3, we figured we'd do something a little bit different. So we all went through and picked a game that has no sequel lined up, no sequel in the works. A sequel has never been announced at all. Maybe a rumor here or two, but nothing actually confirmed by developers. And we're going to talk about them because these games deserve sequels because they were pretty damn good. So let us know what you think about him. But we're going to kick it off with Brennan's choice, which is Dragon's Dogma. It is an action role-playing game. It's developed and published by Capcom. It came out on the PS3, little retro for all you guys out there, and Xbox 360. Its original release date was, wow, back in May 22nd, 2012. How old were we back then?
I was in high school at that time. I
was like
remember
17. I think I no, wait. Yeah, I was 17, I think.
I picked this up when it came out. I couldn't really even tell you why. I think I played the demo and it just looked cool, but I don't know. I've really always wanted a sequel for Dragon's Dogma. Um, for those of you who don't know, it's I don't know how you even explain it. It's kind of Souls-like in the fact that it's very gritty, it's very gothic, um, and the systems in the combat are very tight. And that's kind of where it stops having a comparison. You make a character, you can pick your class, and there's like fusion classes that go along as the game progresses, and you pick a what's called a pawn to fully customize as like your secondary backup character. And then throughout the game, you go like quote you would go online quote back in the day, and basically people would put their pawns up in the marketplace. So you would really want to like deck out your pawn and send them out to other people, and other people can use them in their party of four. You have a party of four, and essentially you're just picking and choosing other people's pawns that fit with your party. So you always have a party of 4. You go on quests. Um, the whole draw is that your character is attacked by this big ass dragon, and he stole your heart. So you have to get it back, and that's like the reason that you're able to summon these pawns is because you're this person known as the Arisen. Blah blah blah. The story is really interesting, and the ending is one of the coolest endings to any video game I've ever played ever. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was really cool, and I've written whole papers and essays about this game and like the narrative behind it and like the themes that are going on. Um, but gameplay wise too is really cool. One of my favorite mechanics was like you'd be questing and it would go nighttime and you don't have fast travel, at least in the beginning. Back in the beginning, you don't have fast travel. You have to run around the whole map. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it helps you recognize landmarks and it helps you read maps. But essentially, it would go dark, and then like big ass monsters would come out, like a chimera or trolls, and you would climb on them, Shadow of the Colossus style, and like bring them down, coordinating with your party. It was really cool, and I've always wanted there to be a sequel, and I just don't think it's ever gonna happen. Um, so yeah, that's my pick for the sequel segment. Um, Dragon's Dogma severely deserves a sequel, and that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I heard the name of this game. I've never played it or seen like extensive gameplay of it.
It's really cool, and I would recommend, like, if you like old kind of gothic, I think no, it's Capcom. So they have, uh, it's Western in the idea that the setting is Western. But it's similar, I guess, to Souls in a little way, in terms of combat, but I don't know. I've always been a big sucker for Dragon's Dogma and just the game as a whole. I think it's one of those hidden cult gems that everyone needs to at least try at some point. The magic in that game is so insane. I've never actually been a mage, but I've played with mages, and it's just insane. Everything is just really cool. Fighting the bosses, Shadow of the Colossus style, is really cool. Like, and it's not a Shadow of the Colossus game, but and they're not the same size. It's not like you're fighting giant colossi similar to Shadow of the Colossus, but being able to climb on the troll's back and like knock the armor off so that one of your mages can hit it with electricity to stun it, and then have your archer like shoot it in the eye for maximum damage. It's a great feeling, and like that's that's all something that you can do in game yourself. It's not like a prompted thing. It's just something that you can do because the game allows you to. You could pick up party members and just throw them. So, like you could just pick up people, throw them like a bomb if they have a spell cast ready. It's really fun. It deserves a sequel. I'm done talking.
I honestly know absolutely nothing about this game because uh I was too busy playing Devil May Cry and God of War.
Completely fair. It's completely
Yeah,
fair.
like I said, I heard of it, but it just went under my radar.
I feel like honestly, I feel like a game like this would do really well similar like right now. Like
Yeah.
looking at the cover art, I don't know why it's giving me like Dragon Age vibes. Dragons. That's the only real connection I'm making between the two. Um, but I just feel like a game like this right now would do really well.
It
So,
plays sort of like Inquisition,
mhm.
maybe, in a way. If I were to have to say anything like that, it plays more like Inquisition.
I think like and I really enjoyed Inquisition. So, if they remade this game right now, I feel like it would definitely be something that I played. Like I 100% think I would be totally into this. So, why they don't the game got a original net animation adaptation on Netflix in 2020.
Oh
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I still haven't seen that.
We'll
Or
see if
if
it's
that isn't, is it in the development or something? I don't even know.
it says it was globally released on September 17th.
Oh damn, I missed that.
So we'll see. Long story short, Netflix and I have a fight going on because any originals that they do, I'm not always cool with the animation because they really do some wonky 3D like animation. It always
Yeah.
freaks me out. But I would definitely be interested in checking this out. It apparently was also ported to Windows in 2016, PS4 and Xbox One in 17, and Switch on the 19th. Though the game is kind of old, so I would definitely prefer like an actual, like just brand new version of the game, like an actual sequel.
That's like it's about damn time. Like it's been almost 10 years. So I'm just holding out hope from Capcom, but it'll never happen.
Um, it has an online apparently. Don't know how well
It
that did.
I think that was like a Eastern only thing, or it's
Oh,
either that or it was like originally supposed to be more of an online game because it does have an online it does have some online in that like again my I could lend you my pawn and he can help you and vice versa. So like if there is a sequel, I would prefer to have some drop in, drop out co-op, um, to replace your pawns in a way. Like, so instead of having four people in your party, you can have four real people in your party. So instead of swapping out the pawn, you could also swap out a person or something. That would be really cool because the game's really hard. And so I feel like it would be another sort of Dark Souls community thing where people would help out other people during certain sections or even like fuck over other people during certain sections, like some kind of invading faction. That would be kind of cool. Um, but there's really not a whole hell of a lot that they would have to change for me other than making it look more updated and having another big ass area to explore. I really, really like this whole game, and yeah, there's really not much more I could say about it, to be honest.
a last note I really want to mention is that the director of Dragon's Dogma was also the director on. He was the replacement director on Devil May Cry 2, director on 3 Dante's Awakening, the special edition, 4 DMC Devil May Cry. He was the supervising director. He supervising director on DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, director on Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, 5 and 5 Special Edition. So the guy has lots of experience with some pretty, I guess I don't really want to call Devil May Cry dark, but it is in a way. And he definitely has a background in hack and slash. So if he were to remake Dragon's Dogma, or make a sequel to it, I honestly think like just fucking somebody get this guy on the phone. We need to convince him to make a sequel.
I'll get his number.
Mike's like, I'm gonna find it right now. But actually, we're going to kick it over to Mike, so please put that on hold while you stalk that man for me. We're going to talk about Injustice 2 and how that totally needs a sequel. It is a fighting game. It's developed by NetherRealm Studios and published by Warner Brother Interactive. It came out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and its release date wasn't that far away from now. It was released on May 11th, 2017.
So anybody who knows me knows I love fighting games. They also know I love comics, so this was like a match made in heaven for me. I loved Injustice 2. I got it when it came out, and I played it for a couple years on the PS4. And then earlier this year, I saw it on sale for PC, so I was like, "Oh, hey, I love that game. I'm gonna pick it up again." And I did, and the problem was the lobbies are kind of not doing too well right now. And it's just that point where it just they need to either revamp it somehow or they need to just do a full-on sequel. um which I'm hoping they're doing a full-on sequel. They're the Realm Studios. They're the ones that do Mortal Kombat. They do Injustice. They just announced that, well, they didn't just announce it, but they have announced they're no longer supporting Mortal Kombat 11, which they've been putting all their attention in for the past couple years. um and that they're working on a new game. So nobody knows what the game is, but I'm hoping it's Injustice 3. So
So
that's,
when, oh, sorry, no, you
I
go.
was gonna say, so hopefully that's what's coming, but it's just right now we really don't know what NetherRealm has in their heads.
So when you say that the lobbies are not doing well, do you mean that just like the net code is bad or that there's just not a lot of people playing, or both?
It was just when I jumped on to play online, there just wasn't a lot of people playing.
Ah, gotcha. So you're hoping that a sequel brings everyone back to the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that's the main
Gotcha.
reason I want this game to get a sequel, is I want people to come back. And just the gameplay for Injustice 1 and 2 was just so much fun. I'm curious to see what they would do with the third one. And I'm also kind of curious what kind of characters they would pick, because Injustice 2 had some like not so well known characters from the DC universe. I think that's one of the things that made it fun, was just, you if you knew the comics, you're able to play as these characters, you really don't see too much outside of the comics, and it was just really, really fun.
Yeah, I saw Blue Beetle, right? Blue Beetle was in the second one. I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
he was in the first one or not.
No, he wasn't in the first one. He was only in the second one.
Yeah, like Blue Beetle's awesome. Blue Beetle's probably one of my favorite DC superheroes. I mean, I don't read a lot of DC, but like I loved Blue Beetle, especially the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle stuff.
Yeah.
She's the best. So I
When
was
they
really
did,
excited to see him in Injustice 2.
yeah, and they did shit like the Teenage Mutant Turtles were in it.
Okay, hold
All
on.
right, yeah.
I'm what? Okay, so I'm looking at like who all is in Injustice 2, and who the hell is Reverse Flash? Why? Like
Oh yeah,
what's Reverse Flash?
that was the skin for the Flash. Reverse Flash is Evil Flash.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate it. That's so cheesy. Like,
Yeah, instead of his suit being primarily red with a little bit of yellow, his suit is primarily yellow with a little bit of red.
like I was trying to sit here and think that like, oh, he does some like what's the reverse of like flashing forward? Maybe he jumps backwards. But no, he's just a bad guy. That's it. He's called Reverse
Yeah.
Flash because he's bad. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. When did this come out? His first appearance was in 1963, and they couldn't get any more original than that. I shouldn't say anything. That was the 60s. It was a very weird time back then. They weren't very original.
I was about to say, come on now.
Oh, I was just like, damn. And yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were a DLC along with a whole bunch of other people. But I guess my comment about it is that I'm not surprised that they're not supporting the game anymore. I mean, it came out in 2019, so it is a little dated now. So it's like you eventually need to stop supporting the old game and, actually start on a new one. And I'm talking about Mortal Kombat 11 if I didn't say that. I'm just, it seems like that's all they really do is Mortal Kombat and uh anything that's related to like Batman or like this Injustice stuff. So I'm curious to see if we'll get an Injustice 3 or if it's going to be another Batman game, though it looks like the Batman games are for Android and iOS. So I don't know, it's interesting. I'd like to see if they will ever go out of this bubble that it seems like they've put themselves in as a company. They are. I don't know if they're still technically. Their parent company is Warner Brothers, so they might not ever really get to come out of this. We only make Mortal Kombat and Injustice video games. But I'd like to see if they ever come up with something that's actually original.
Yeah, the past few games just been Injustice, Mortal Kombat, Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat. So who knows? Maybe Injustice 3 is the next step for them. I really hope so. Like I said, I really enjoyed these Injustice 2. Racked up who knows how many hours in it. And just I'm always looking for a new fighter, and I'm hoping Injustice 3 can, be one of the next ones that I pick up.
Well, hopefully. It does seem like they take a little bit of a break every couple of years in between games.
Yeah.
So, hopefully might get something soon. Maybe holiday season, maybe next E3.
Hopefully.
Maybe not. And then we get to see Mike cry.
Yes, and just enjoy my tears. Just lick them up and just delicious.
Okay, it's a little weird now. So we're gonna kick it over to the last game on this list, which is Astral Chain. It was my pick. If you guys don't know anything about Astral Chain, I did a review on it at our previous Game Luster, so definitely go check out my article. But it's an action adventure game. It is developed by Platinum Games and its publisher is Nintendo. It came out on the Nintendo Switch August 30th, 2019. I absolutely love the art style for this video game. It's great. I could play this game all day long. The only thing I hated about it was I thought the controls were a little weird, especially when you were controlling your Legion. I thought it took a little bit of time to get used to when I was trying to fight with my person then use my Legion. It was just a little wonky, but I absolutely love this game so much. They had some big names attached to this, so it was developed by, or it was directed by the person who was previously lead game designer for Nier Automata. I'd say names, but I don't want to offend anybody and butcher their names. It was under the supervision of the person who is the series creator for DMC Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, and the character designs are from a manga artist. That's why I love this so much. The gameplay is it's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. But it's not my favorite. I kind of go back and forth if I really like the gameplay or not. I feel like I really like this game more for the story and the art style, but I definitely want a sequel. If not a sequel, then at least another game within this world that I still get to use Legions, because I still thought that was pretty badass. This game is badass. If you haven't played it, just go play it. I don't really know what more to say about this game because I just thought it was cool. I absolutely enjoyed myself from start to finish.
Yeah, I've never played Astral Chain, but I followed it during its release because it looked like something that I would be interested in. And it's one of those things where, if it would go on sale, I would probably pick it up for sure. So a sequel would be really cool to see.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Brennan. I did look at it for a bit just because of who's behind it. Like you said, they had the pedigree of Nier Automata, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, which are all games that I enjoy. So I do remember looking this game up. It was just for whatever reason I never picked it up. So I really do think a sequel would help encourage me to pick up the first one and then be able to just move on from there and play the second one. Especially if the first one goes on sale because the sequel comes out.
We all know Nintendo games rarely go on sale.
True.
They say that this game was review bombed on Metacritic mainly for being a Switch exclusive, except here's my thing. This game doesn't fit well on other platforms. I can't see myself playing this on anything besides the Switch. And I feel like that's because this is the perfect Switch game. And playing it on my PlayStation or an Xbox or even PC just for some reason doesn't fit. And I know that might sound weird, but I think it's just the whole vibe of this game just screams Nintendo and Switch to me. The controls fit perfectly. I think if you tried to port this to an Xbox or to PC or to PlayStation, you're going to have some issues. So I don't really think that this game would necessarily do well on other platforms. I mean, yeah, of course, it would be great if they had it on other platforms because then you get more reach that way. But I don't know, this just, this is very much a Nintendo game. And I feel like the only downside to that is that if it came out on other platforms, then it would have sold more, and then there's more potential for a sequel because I feel like Nintendo isn't if it's not like one of their like main focus games, then there's no potential of it potentially being picked up. I said potential a lot in that sentence, but you guys get what I mean. So that kind of sort of makes me sad because it's like, this is a great game. From what I've heard, there have been rumors that a sequel could be happening, but nobody has confirmed anything. So it's like it got great review scores, nines out of tens, like all across the board. So I'm just confused as to like, why would you let such a good game, an original idea with great people behind it, how could you not give that a sequel? Or how could you not make a game within that world again? Like, how could you just, okay, we sold 1 million copies, we're done now. What do you mean? Like, put another game out. Let's do it. The horse isn't dead yet. I mean, fucking look at Call of Duty. They've been kicking that dead horse for years. Your horse is alive, well, and kicking. People want to give you money. I originally thought this game wasn't going to be great. And I absolutely fucking love it. So it's like, why would you just... What are you doing? Platinum Games? Nintendo? This is me calling you out right now. What are you doing? And why are you not putting a sequel out for this game already? That's just me. That's just me.
Wow, very opinionated.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great.
I get it.
I want to play this game again. I'm probably going to go replay this game again.
Yeah.
What Haley's doing later.
I feel ya, Haley. I feel ya.
Thank you. It's great to know that y'all are... Oh, they're doing Bayonetta 3. No wonder they don't have time for fucking Astral Chain.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a reason for it. I
answered my own question.
Yeah, but they've been doing Bayonetta 3 before Astral Chain even came out.
God damn it. Then that's not an excuse. They can make Astral Chain while they're making Bayonetta. Looking at Platinum Games' list of games that they've developed, they canceled Scalebound right now. TBA is a game called Project GG. There's Bayonetta 3, which is coming out on the Switch. Babylon's Fall, that looks like development Yeah, that's coming out for PS4, PS5, and Windows. Don't know anything about that. Granblue Fantasy Relink, that moved to Cygames for development in 2010. And The Lost Order is an Android and iOS game. Beta testing closed in August 10 for that. Release date remains unclear. So, I mean, they're definitely busy over there. Maybe Project GG is a sequel to Astral Chain. One can only hope, because I need it in my life, like right about now. But I guess we'll have to see. Thinking of a sequel for Astral Chain kind of makes me sad, because I'm just like, there's so many games that don't deserve a sequel, but games that do deserve a sequel. Stop sitting on my big pile of money and do what I say.
Amen.
If only it was that easy. But we are now done with our preview and review portions of the pre-review crew episode for the month of August 21st. But before you go, we are going to introduce a new little segment. We haven't come up with a title for it yet because, well, we're slow thinkers and we can only do one thing at a time. But tentatively right now, this is stupid stuff you see related to video games on Reddit. That's a really long title. I'm very sorry. But the stupid thing that we saw on Reddit this week was Heal Hitler. It's a video game where players try to help the Nazi leader. You basically play as his therapist, I'm pretty sure. The description for the game is: point of view, you are Hitler's psychologist in 1925, diagnose his complexes by using both Jungian and Freudian psychotherapies and attempt to heal him. Resolve Hitler's trauma and prevent catastrophe via therapy and psychology, succeed and avoid the war and Holocaust. This sparked a whole bunch of outrage just because it tried to very much humanize Hitler. They go on to say Hitler was human too, just like you. If you distance yourself from him by dehumanizing him and calling him a monster, you are doing psychological damage to yourself. a lot of people were very upset about this. Why somebody would make this in the first place, I don't actually know. I'm very confused.
Okay, so first, people are upset about everything.
I mean,
Second, I have no idea what the fuck this even trying to be. I mean, this is like when you first mentioned this game to us, I was like, I thought you were either high or joking. But yeah, they're actually making a game where you're Hitler's psychiatrist.
um, the developer, whose name is John Agius, who claims to be Czech, said he is not a Nazi apologist and that he researched psychological reports as well as accounts of people who had met Hitler before the game was created. But I had read some comments that said that he actually only did like 2 months of research. Take that with a grain of salt. It is Reddit after all.
I just love the name. Like this article from Newsweek starts off with a video game in which players can stop the Holocaust from taking place. The thought of which is just completely audacious. Continuing the quote, by using psychology to quote heal Hitler has sparked outrage online. Yeah, I wonder why that would spark outrage online. Like, I don't know. I just don't really see the point as to why. Why? Just why? And if I don't care if I'm dehumanizing him and calling him a monster. Like, I just don't see the point.
It's like, why? This is a game that doesn't need to be made. And by trying to humanize someone who did so much damage to so many people and took so many lives, and you're gonna turn around and try to be like, okay, yeah, if Hitler went to therapy, he wouldn't have started the Holocaust. Like, if you're really gonna try to sit there and make a game about that, I really think that you need to go back to school and learn why the Holocaust started and how the Holocaust started and where Hitler came from and what happened throughout the Holocaust and what happened at the end of it. And you really need a goddamn reality check, because this game slaps everyone who was affected by Hitler and the Nazis in the fucking face and says, well, whatever you went through isn't valid. Whatever you experienced isn't valid. Whatever your family experienced isn't valid. Because, well, Hitler was just a human just like you. If he went to therapy, it would have just, not happened.
Yeah, it's just a lie. You said it best. Like, why does this game need to be made?
Like, I sort of think it's somebody creating something stupid to get a rise out of people.
Could be.
So, I mean, it's 2021. If you don't know about the Holocaust and what happened, and you're really gonna sit there and like make a game like this, I really think you need slapped in the face. Like, of course, the guy claims that he's getting personal attacks, probably death threats. It's Reddit, I wouldn't put it past them, and I definitely think that's a big no. But instead of sitting there attacking the person, you should definitely sit there and try to educate them. And if they want to be blind and ignorant to what you try to teach them, then honestly, that is on them. I think this guy could have spent a lot more of his free time making a game educating people about the Holocaust, or I don't know, about fucking race cars or something else than healing Hitler.
Yep, pretty much.
That's Reddit for you. But anyway, that's just some dumb shit that we saw on Reddit this week. Come back in next episode for some more stupid shit that we see on Reddit. We'll let you know our opinions on it. If anybody has any catchy titles for what the segment should be called, definitely let us know. And that is it. It's your girl Haley signing off for the pre-review crew for the month of July/August. I hope you're having a great day, night, evening, wherever you are, and we will catch you on the flip side. Goodbye.
Bye.